We've been wondering this whole time. We know he needs to be attacked, but how should you attack him? And you can go the mocking route. You can go the talking about his personal history route. You can talk about him being unprepared. You can make it super serious. We had a sampling there. We had a Whitman sampler of attacks there. What do you think is actually landing or could potentially be the most
qualified,
effective?
not qualified is what they're going on here. They're saying one is qualified, one's not qualified. No matter what, these are serious situations. The world is a serious place. The Oval Office is a serious office. Qualified, not qualified. It seems to me that they've made that consensus decision, and now they have to work on qualified.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of mocking him. I mean, obviously Tim Kaine did the "Believe Me," which, by the way, I like knowing that a politician uses the same voice when they're mocking someone. Right? Like anytime someone's saying something you disagree with, you're like, whoa. So I really enjoyed that. But, you know, Cenk's in favor of, like, really going lowbrow and hitting him where it really hurts, like talking about the hair plugs and things like that. I don't want them to do that. I think that lowers them to the Republican level, or Donald Trump's level, to be fair. And it's but like, to be honest with you, the less juvenile side of me, like the more juvenile side of me does want them to do that, just because I know how much it would please me to see him trolled. Like, I want to see him trolled so badly.
But you have to go to Juvenile to get that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's
yeah. Well, so you hesitated because you didn't want to call my tactic Juvenile.
I didn't
I hear
that's
you.
That's not what I meant.
I hear.
Like,
oh, now who's going lowbrow? Okay,
who's going lowbrow?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
you think I'm
Juvenile.
Juvenile?
Believe me. Okay. Anyway, you know what I'm going to say. Look, wouldn't it be fun if I ran campaigns? Because now I'm not saying I'd 100% win, and my candidate might not have the highest favorables like this if I was a campaign manager.
They might have to move afterwards.
But trust me, believe me, that whoever our opponent is, their favorables would be very, very low.
Yeah.
My strategy would be, when you get in that voting booth, you just think, I cannot vote for that person. I just cannot vote for that person. So if I was the Democrats, number one, you guys already know what the tactic I would use against Trump, which is loser. Loser, loser, loser. Right? How many times do you need to go to bankruptcy before you figure out you can't run a business, you dunderhead? Okay? I mean, like, how many times did you have to pull out your hair going through bankruptcies before you got the hair plugs? So I would hit him so hard that people would be like, God damn it, Cenk's such a bad guy. Hillary Clinton's so unfavorable. But that pathetic Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I can't leave the country and the world in the hands of that pathetic mess.
But don't you think this election is not about changing the minds of the people who want to vote for Donald Trump, and it's more about energizing the people that are needed to vote for Hillary Clinton? So the qualified, unqualified thing,
No.
You don't think so?
No, I really don't.
I do.
I
think you're gonna.
That's important. I think it's both.
No, look, it's of course in a normal election it would be both. Like if Bernie Sanders is running, super important to get that energy out and to get him to vote, take advantage of that. It's super hard to energize Hillary Clinton, people to get excited about Hillary Clinton. It is. So you're going to expend a lot of resources going in that direction. I think those resources would be better utilized pulverizing Donald Trump.
Don't you think people who want to vote for Donald Trump and who have already made up their minds about him are just willing to go the nuclear route?
They have not made up their minds. They have made up their minds about Hillary Clinton. They have not made up their minds about Donald Trump.
I think the people who made up their minds that they want to vote for Donald Trump have made up their minds they want to vote for Donald Trump. I don't think there are people on the there are people on the fence, right? There are people that really should vote for Donald Trump but don't want to vote for Donald Trump, right? So you win them over rather than scare them away. Both tactics work, but I think if you go scorched earth and you carpet bomb and you do all of those turns of phrases, whatever they are, those little cliches, that's not necessarily the right way. It may not be the right way, but it's a much higher risk. And in this election, I think a lot of people don't think it's worth risking.
Let me add him.
Yeah.
No, I know. Listen, Cenk, I know what you would say.
Well, I have an assignment for
part
you.
Of my if you ran someone's campaign, part of my problem would be that I'd want to vote for my close friend's candidate, but I can't believe the campaign he's running.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know that that's going to appeal to everyone either.
I know. And look, I know it's anecdotal, but let me just tell you again. In my talk with working class people, which I'm actually bothered to do. I try to do it as often as possible. And when I ask them about Trump, they're like, I don't know. I can't vote for Hillary. That is almost every time, not the majority, almost every time. Meaning, like, they're not like, I think Trump's God's gift to humanity.
But, Cenk, I had the same experience. I was out there talking to people all year long in weird places in this country, and I was speaking to them and saying, so what's got to be? He said, I just need Hillary to give me a reason to vote for her, and she'll give me my vote.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Wow.
People who want to be sold.
That's not the vibe I got.
Because, well, I mean, and it's anecdotal. I
Yep.
could have, if I spoke to
and maybe
40
we're
people
seeing what we
or
want to
100
see.
people, or
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Or
it's
our
not to say that
preconceived
people,
notions.
it's not to say that I didn't speak to people who said under no circumstances would I vote for Hillary Clinton. Absolutely, I
Yeah.
met those people. But the people who weren't sure, who had a hard time with her, were saying, I just need a reason to vote for this woman because I really don't want to vote for him.